Hello and welcome to the St. Louis Green Business Challenge virtual brown bag seminar for Thursday, the 25th of March, 2021. I am Jean Ponzi, manager of the Green Business Challenge. Here we go. This is what we're seeing here today. As you know, every Thursday, typically from noon to 12:30, we have an efficient and useful and sustainability focused presentation from one of our Green Business Challenge presenters or some of our many partners. And today we get to hear from Earth Day 365, our nonprofit partner that has been putting on Earth Day events for many years and may be the presenter of the largest Earth Day in the USA. Want to acknowledge our sponsors as we always do. Graybar, thank you so much. Graybar Electric, presenting sponsor of the Green Business Challenge, supporter for all 12 years of the program. We so appreciate your generous support. Supporting the challenge at the sustaining level, Ameren, Missouri, Ride Finders and Citizens for Modern Transit, keeping us empowered and on the move. Greenly, supporting our Green Cities Challenge participants. We have one STL, our regional sustainability plan. The St. Louis Metro chapter combined Missouri and Illinois Metro chapter of the American Planning Association and Madison County government supporting the communities within their service range. Thank you so much. Anything having to do with recycling, which will include some of what we're talking about today, is supported by the St. Louis Jefferson Solid Waste Management District and the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. And come back, little arrow. Come back, little Sheba. Where are you? Let's do that. If you have not already joined the challenge, if your company has never joined the challenge, this is an excellent year to get involved. Even if you are working remotely, this is a time to use a little bit of that space to set in motion mechanisms to have green work efficiently and cost effectively in your business. If you have been in the challenge before and you haven't registered yet, please do. We send a link to register in every week's e-news and a link to request an invoice if it is more convenient to do that than to register online with a credit card. Here are some key dates to put on your agenda. If you are a participant in the Green Cities Challenge, we're going to be convening on Friday morning, April 9th, for a training workshop. I say training because that's what we always say at the beginning of the year, but really this is going to be a very interactive exchange between Green Cities participants. This is peer-to-peer, peer-to-peer resource sharing and learning opportunities. We'd like to have everyone register at the leader and champion level by Friday, April 30th. That gives you the most amount of time to do the work at these meat and potatoes or soy and greens level of the challenge. Friday, October 15th, all of the materials are due to us. Your final scores, your innovation project reports, the things that will go into our annual accomplishments book and into awards recognition. And the date this year for Challenge Awards is Friday, December 10th. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we could do that again in person? We shall see. Stay tuned. Next week on Virtual Brown Bag, Ameren, Missouri is bringing us some information about electrification of vehicle fleets. This is very business specific. We will have another presentation about EV incentives for individuals that you can share with your fellow employees and your constituents a little bit later in the year. Ken Kressman, look forward to that presentation about vehicle fleet electrification. And other April dates at this moment are available. So if you'd like to present what your company or your enterprise is doing to the Green Business Challenge audience, send an email. Bob Henkel is one of my favorite colleagues. I do not say that lightly in the green space. We've worked together in and around recycling and public engagement and the values that are part of sustainability for a long time. He's a program director with Earth Day 365 and is here to tell us today about a plethora of engagement opportunities for Earth Month, which in our business starts in March, runs through May. Bob Henkel, I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to you so that you can do this. Welcome to the Green Business Challenge.
Jean, that was a great intro. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to be in your aura, which is just such a fantastic leader in the sustainability field. So all the great work that you're doing, the Green Business Challenge. A great thank you to all the people that are on this call that are in the Green Business Challenge, working sustainability every day, working with your employees and your families. We at Earth Day 365 really value the individual action that people can take to be sustainable. And like you, we also have sponsors like the Solid Waste Management District of St. Louis and Jefferson County, and DNR, and the Healthy Planet are some of our folks. I want to spend some time talking today, if I can get my screen to go ahead there. There we
Oh,
go.
you're moving your screen, Bob. I forget to say this every time. Please type your questions in the chat.
Okay, there you go. Type your questions in the chat. I'm not going to see them, but Gene can feed them to me. So yeah, as Gene said, St. Louis Earth Day Festival, been in Forest Park for the many numbers of years. Since 1989, we've been bringing over 200 vendors and thousands of attendees to engage in sustainability with the people on the ground that are actually doing the good work of sustainability. We've been kind of a convener of those folks. Last year, April 2020, we had to go virtual like everyone else did. And so we put together a 9-day virtual Earth Day Festival with 80 plus programs, and was a big success. And I'm still exhausted from it. Then we put on a virtual October climate change speaker series, which was really good. And we worked with 3 different communities in the St. Louis region to do cleanup events. So we had to, as an organization that really focuses on festivals, both with the Earth Day Festival piece, also the Recycling on the Go event waste management for festivals and events. Neither of those programs could happen last year. And we started to take a look as an organization of how to re-envision who we are and what we do, and how can we really engage with the community, listening to what the community needs here in St. Louis. So we started thinking about creating volunteer days of action with community partners. And coming up here in 2021, we'll be doing 3 in April. I'll talk more about that later. We're not having a live festival again this year. We really hope to get back to have those big celebrations because they're really important for the community and just keep hope alive. But so this year we're putting together Earth Day celebration kits for individuals and family engagement. So those are things that can be picked up for free. Thanks to some of our sponsors, we're also going to be doing a green dining week at area restaurants over mid-April. Around, if people don't know, April 22nd is National Earth Day, and actually International Earth Day around the globe, one of the largest holidays celebrated in the world. We're going to have a keynote speaker, Marianne Lazarus, talking about climate change and her particular perspective. So we're really looking forward to that. We're doing outreach education at farmers markets around food waste reduction. We also have a big raffle for weekend getaways in Elsa, Illinois, Possum Hollow, Ozark Cabin, and Union Station overnight, plus our 2020-2021 t-shirt, Saving the World by Staying Home, a year of resiliency, adaptability, and sweatpants. So we're taking pre-orders right now. So get your t-shirt now before April 2nd. Little plug there. But talking about our volunteer days of action with community partners like a Red Circle up in Pine Lawn. They have a North County Agricultural Education Center that's really looking at food apartheid issues and food access issues. We're coordinating with them for April 10th to come and help them with a garden work day, building new beds and all kinds of projects that they're going to be doing. April 18th, we are going to be at O'Fallon Park. If you've never been to the North City Park, it is a beautiful place that has no maintenance to it. And so imagine the difference between Tower Grove Park, which has a guy every day driving around, cleaning up trash and maintaining the park, making it look nice, versus a park that has no maintenance whatsoever to it. So it's just a huge litter box where trash cans overflow, nobody takes care of them. So we are coordinating with the North Newstead Association, who are going to be bringing community members together. They've been working with like Great Rivers Greenway and the Missouri Department of Conservation for a number of years to work in rain gardens and other things. So through those partnerships, we are also going to bring volunteers out to do litter cleanups and help out get that park kind of cleaned up. Then April 24th, we're working with Dutchtown for a litter cleanup in their CID. What's that mean? I can't remember, the Commercial Improvement District or something, CID. So working in concert with these different community organizations around issues that are really close to home. So these are things that we need volunteers with. Go to earthday-365.org and you can sign up. They're all going to be looking at COVID safe protocols, social distancing, face masks when you can't be there. But the great thing about a litter cleanup is you and your family can come. We give you a bag and some gloves and a map, and you can independently just go pick up trash and then bring it back to the dumpster. So these areas are large enough to be able to handle that kind of impact. The other piece of engagement that people can do is this Mississippi River Plastic Pollution Initiative using community science. And I'm saying community science versus citizen science to recognize that there are many people in our community that may not be actual citizens in the United States, but still have a smartphone and can download the Marine Debris Tracker app and engage in citizen science and research that's going to impact and help the entire world look at, in this particular situation, the Mississippi River, which drains 40 states, 40% of our, it's just a huge, huge watershed. And so we're trying to look at land-based plastics in St. Paul, Minnesota, St. Louis, Missouri, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and upload through this mobile app of the Marine Debris Tracker, land-based plastics. So you identify it, you put it in the app, it's geolocated, so the University of Georgia can collect and grab that data, so we know that any litter that ends up on the ground is going to end up going through a storm drain down the street and into the Mississippi River, the Missouri River, and end up down into the ocean. And folks have probably heard that ocean plastic waste is a huge issue. So this is also being part of the Confluence Trash Batch, which is another kind of partner that we're working with for that O'Fallon trash cleanup. But their Confluence Trash Batch with Great Rivers Greenway is hosting a site. So there's a ton of volunteer opportunities there to get out and pick up trash in the area. OneMississippi.org tells you all about this Mississippi River Plastic Pollution Initiative. A little bit closer to home, we've coordinated with a bunch of our usual Earth Day Festival vendors to get some donations of like seed packs and LED light bulbs, tickets to like a TrailNet bike scavenger hunt. Missouri Relief is putting together a tree scavenger hunt, which I'm really excited about. We're working with a local art teacher who's going to create instructions and some online videos for upcycle crafts for the whole family. Plus, we'll talk on our website about community science projects such as iNaturalist, which people do during the City Nature Challenge, the Marine Debris Tracker. We're going to create about 500 of these take-home gifts, kits that individuals, families can engage with at home to be able to do a little bit of Earth Day on your own. Plus, there's like bonus gift opportunities. So like a Rude Bee apiary only had 10 jars of honey. So somewhere among 500 kits, there's going to be 10 jars of honey, or garden memberships and day passes, or coupons for native tree saplings, or tickets to the concert in the trees with Missouri Relief. So you never know what kind of bonus gift you might get, but there's also like St. Louis Aquarium donated, it's MSD, Project Clear. They donated reusable straws, which is really awesome. So everyone loves a compactable, reusable straw. So yeah, our kit sponsors are Project Clear from MSD, Great Rivers Greenway, Metro Lighting, Ride Finders. I see you're on the call today, so really appreciate your help here. St. Louis Aquarium Foundation. So, and they're donating one of the raffle gifts, a Union Station overnight. And another way to engage with Earth Month is virtually. in which on April 23rd, we will be hosting at earthday-365.org, keynote address with Mary Ann Lazarus, who's really going to be taking a look at climate change and impacts and resiliency. And so her with breadth and knowledge on the subject is amazing. So we're really excited about hosting her at 3 o'clock. I'm working with a dance troupe that we might be able to have like a big entertainment thing, big dance thing that is focused around climate change, some interpretation that their choreographies put together. So I'm hopeful that we'll also have that after the keynote address. Right before the keynote address is the raffle prize picking. So we'll be doing that live. And then that week of April 19th to the 23rd, the Global Freshwater Summit is virtually being hosted through the Missouri Historical Society. And we're going to be participating on April 20th at 6 p.m. an eco-film discussion of The Invisible Hand, which talks about nature's rights. So if I'm a coral reef, do I have any rights to not get polluted? And there's some really interesting stuff that's happening around the world. And so this film we'll have a discussion about that at 6 p.m. April 20th. And then April 22nd, I'm working with 3 amazing panelists, Maggie McCoy out of the Earthway Center, Nick Speed with Ujima, and Tyran Lewis with Hayru Urban Farming to talk about food waste and food justice in the St. Louis region. How are these people really taking a look at our watershed and taking a look at like disposable society type stuff? We have this disposable use ethos. And I think it's kind of paralleled with a disposable society. Certain parts of our community seem to be disposable. We don't think about them, they just away. But people like Nick Speed and Tyran Lewis are working in North City, North County, really being resilient and nutrient knowledge cycling through job training programs and regenerative agriculture. So we'll have a really robust presentation from all of them talking about the value of food, the value of people, the value of regenerative programming and dealing with food justice issues in St. Louis region. And if you want to really take a step out, join us and our Green Dining Alliance restaurant program, which certifies about 115 restaurants in their levels of sustainability here in the St. Louis region. April 16th to the 25th. Member restaurants, we've got several that have signed up that 20%, they'll offer a 20% donation to Earth Day 365 in honor of Earth Month during that week. So go out it's our ways of thanking restaurants like the Dam, the Wolf Cafe, Living Room Kitchen House, Clementine's in Lafayette Square, Counterculture, Flavor 360, Squires at Avenue, Buzz's Hawaiian Grill, Hamilton Group. We were taking a look at restaurants just getting so hit hard by the pandemic that this was a way that we wanted to really promote restaurants and get people engaged in sustainability, and also a little bit of a fundraiser so that money that comes in from this program will go back out through the program to help restaurants be a part of our Green Dining Alliance membership program if they can't afford the fees for the audits and the ongoing promotion and support that we give restaurants throughout the year. So you can find out more at greendiningalliance.org so you can eat sustainably. New programs that we're offering this year is we got a grant from Solid Waste Management District again for food waste reduction messaging campaign. So we're going to be looking at an education campaign focused on the food recovery hierarchy from the EPA, looking at source reduction in the residence kind of sector. But then also we're going to be setting up an outreach booth at Tower Grove Farmers Market and Ferguson Farmers Market on Saturdays for the season, where residents can sign up. You know, it's a fee-based system where residents can sign up and bring their wasted food scraps for composting through St. Louis Composting. Materials be hauled by Total Organics Recycling. So if you've done everything on the hierarchy just right, you've reduced all your sources, you've gotten good food back to hungry people, you've fed animals and industrials, you still have some food scraps, composting is an awesome way to get nutrients back into our soils and regenerate our soils. So we will be talking about that at the farmers markets. Another program that we are going to try and roll out is this Green to Go program, where we've seen so much increase in the amount of disposable takeout food containers. A program out of Durham, North Carolina, has been providing like a reusable plastic container at restaurants for diners to check out with their food. So then all they have to do is take the food home, eat it, and bring the container back. We wash it, get it back to the restaurant for reuse. And we're really looking at partnering with some local organizations for job hiring and training. We're looking at mobile app development to track the inventory, integrate customer ordering. All of this is reducing the use of disposables, which I already said earlier, but I didn't finish the slide today before I came on board here. So like we want to reduce disposables overall. First step is to refuse to use anything, reduce what you do use, reuse what you can reuse. Then if all else fails, now you can recycle the stuff that can be recycled. So stick with the 6. And then the rest is refuse, send it to the trash. So how can I get involved? You know, our goal as an organization is supporting the sustainability movement, you know, in St. Louis, especially after a really tough year. So that's why we created these environmental justice days of action. We created these Earth Day celebration kits. We have Green Dining Week available. Plus you can engage virtually, but then act locally. Be a leader in the movement to figure out what are the issues that are plaguing St. Louis, that have been plaguing St. Louis for decades. How can we change policy, you know, or, you know, engage with people to deal with some of the structures that are in place, like a maintenance issue of if I'm up in O'Fallon Park and I have no money to provide maintenance, why is that we don't have enough money to provide that maintenance versus say Tower Grove Park, which has a guy every day driving around cleaning up and picking up trash. So thank you very much for this opportunity to be here. Please, if you have any questions about what's going on with Earth Day 365 or how to get involved, let me know. I'm super happy to talk for as long as you have questions, or even longer. I can talk all day.
Bob Henkel, thank you. And thanks to your peeps at Earth Day 365. I think this is a really brilliant pivot from, I mean, last year you guys did a phenomenal job with your 9 days of over 80 events. And then this year to really focus on service and focus on kind of hubs of activity and cross-promoting enterprises like the Mississippi River Plastic Pollution Initiative. Really, really, really good planning. Let's see, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat right this moment, but I do have a couple things I want to mention. You showed the Earth Day 2020 and 2021 t-shirt.
Yeah.
Tell us who designed it.
Oh, that's, you know her. Is it Sarah Aman?
Amen.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah Amen. She did what? She did a presentation for all Green Business about, you know, how humor is important.
February 11th. If you haven't heard that, it's called What's So Funny About And it's a really brilliant tour de force of examples of humor used to make key points in some really some sticky issues. My favorite was the New Zealand commercial series about sexual predators online. That was hilarious. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for showing us that again.
We'll bring that back up for you.
The other connections I wanted to make, if you are a regular at Virtual Brown Bag, you've heard some of these. We had a presentation from Jenny Wendt with University City and the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative. That was on March 11th. And that was about the Plastic Pollution Initiative and how your company can get involved, mobilizing employees, fielding a team, pushing out this information. There are 2 training sessions left to use the marine debris tracker. There was one today, and we had a link to that in the e-news this week. It was kind of short notice, but you know, they're getting this up and running kind of as they go. And there'll be another one on the 31st. And Bob, is it not true that you have a community calendar on the website of Earth Day 365 where people can go and get kind of a one-stop shop of all this connections and links to all of this? Yeah.
This is true. We just started putting up the community calendar. There's events like from USGBC and other folks that have been populated on the calendar right now. And we're going to continue to be kind of that host for some community events. And so we'll see how that goes. And we hope to have a lot of events that people can tune in, one stop at earthday-365.org. I'm not exactly sure where the calendar is on our on our website, but
we'll find it. We'll put a
we'll
link to it in the e-news. Go back to your contact slide, just so we can see that website. I know that's at the beginning of your presentation. Another thing I wanted to point out, Marianne Lazarus, your keynote speaker, Marianne worked for many years at HOK, Helmuth Abad and Kassebaum. And while there, she was a leader in the sustainability movement for the U.S. Green Building Council. She's been involved with USGBC for many years with sustainability at Washington University. Marianne is just a monster of accomplishment. And she joins forces with her husband, Dan Jay, who recently retired as principal of Christner Inc. This is like, you get this kind of ecosystem, right? This goes around, comes around, of people who have relationships. We've collaborated with one another, and we're working together in the green space. Marianne was also instrumental in getting HOK to work with the Biomimicry Institute, which is one of the most leading edge ways of integrating human enterprise with how nature does things. Note in the chat there, community calendar is under the Get Involved tab on earthday-365.org. Thank you, Rachel.
Super happy we got that support.
Get involved. So how, Bob, do you have the means, if a company green team leader gets in touch with you and says, we really want to field a team of people to come out to one of these cleanup events, do you have the means to coordinate that kind of group effort?
Yeah, the best way is to contact us for sure. And then, because we have a form that people can do individually, which maybe I can pop into the chat here too. But then for large groups, it'd be easier to do it all as one. And we want to be able to have some contact tracing and registration process to be able to keep our numbers and capacities within certain limits and stuff.
Most of the cleanup events, the environmental justice days of action, those are on weekend days, yes?
Weekend days. April 18th is a Sunday, April 10th is a Saturday, April 24th is a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of businesses can't mobilize employees from an official standpoint to do this, but as green team leaders, we have the capacity to say to our colleagues, these are things we can get involved in. And the kind of involvement and the things that you choose to promote, depending on the capacity and the culture of your company, those are all things that you can report outcomes on as part of the challenge. Let's see, how do the celebration kits, say again, Bob, how people can get the celebration kits. That sounds like a really fun thing to have at home, in your family, in your own hut. Yeah.
So I think that we're doing, well, we've got, we did a survey and people have said, hey, I want to have one, but we will be at all these days of action, handing out kits to all the volunteers that are part of those kits. We hope to be at like Kitchen House, Living Room, one of the PW Pizza, Hamilton Group restaurants. So we're talking to them about setting up a table during Green Dining Week, in which we'll be handing out celebration kits for folks. So I did put in the chat how to sign up for a day of action. So that's in there. That is what I have for celebration kits.
That's good. This is really good. And when the food waste messaging campaign gets up and running, I know that's going to be AED after Earth Day, because you got enough stuff going on there. love to have you back or have your colleagues back to give us a really clear introduction to that food waste message in the same way that we had introduction and rollout of Recycle Responsibly a couple years ago, so that everyone in the Green Business Challenge can help amplify these excellent practices and the concise and pithy messages that are being developed to promote them.
Yeah, exactly. So just really great to be here. We're putting out our newsletter with all this Earth Month information, probably going out next Thursday. So if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, that would be the easiest way to get in touch with all the volunteer days, the celebration kits, the t-shirt, the raffle, all that, all this stuff is going to be out in our newsletter next week.
Bob Henkel, if you send me a link to have our Green Business Challenge folks sign up for your Earth Day newsletter, we will put that in our e-news, and then folks who are following the challenge can get that from Earth Day, and bing, 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 we'll all pass that along.
I love that.
But not notifications will not be popping up trying to get your attention. Sorry.
Right.
Bob Henkel, Program Director with Earth Day 365. Thank you, my dear friend, my dear colleague. Thanks to your team for doing some really great work and integrating so much awareness of diversity and inclusion and justice, and helping us move our green efforts toward a more equitable go-round of people, planet, profit, that triple bottom line.
Love it. Thank you for all you do, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. Happy spring. Yippee, it's spring now. We will be back next week on Thursday, April 1st, no fooling, with electrification of fleet vehicles from Ken Cressiman at Ameren, Missouri. I'm Jean Ponzi, manager of the St. Louis Green Business Challenge. Thank you very much for all the green things you do. Stay well.